Just being honest. Nothing but the truth, yeah. Nothing but the truth, yeah. Honesty, CJ, honesty. CJ, honesty. CJ, honesty. CJ, honesty. Just being honest. Nothing but the truth.
Welcome to another episode of
CJ Honesty.
And today, on this beautiful Sunday, is Mother's Day. If you are watching on YouTube, we always post on Sundays. And if you're watching on Preach the Word Network, we air on Wednesdays at
6:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
So with that being said, Christina, go ahead and give us our scripture of the day.
All right, so I will be reading from King James Version, Proverbs 31:25-31. And it says, "Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates."
Wow. So
That is,
you know what? That was a lot to unpack right there. Let's just boil that down to a woman. Well, actually, we got a whole list for you today.
Yeah. Do you want to decipher this first?
Well, actually, we decipher it with our list that we have.
Yeah, we can do that. So what
makes a good mother?
We're going to, get into this topic and figure out what makes a good mother. That's the question.
Yeah.
That we're going to get into here. So we have about 10 qualities or characteristics that would make a good mother.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one is being patient, which is also part of the fruits, right? One is one of the fruits of life.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, having patience.
Yes.
And as a mother, yes, of course, you need a lot of patience, right, with your kids and just with everything, because a lot of mothers have a lot on their plate. They have to take care of the kids, they have to take care of the household, they have to take care of their husband, on top of working and anything else that they have going on. Yes. So yeah, patience is definitely a good quality to have to make a good mother. And by the way, this is not in any order. We just kind of came up with the quality. So what do you think?
Yes, patience is definitely needed for the children. They're going to have days, even if you discipline them in the correct way that you should be, they still are children, and they're going to be very energetic some days, out of order. You have to be patient with that. There are going to be days, even when they get older, they become teenagers, they start to grow and become young adults, getting their own thinking process of life and everything. You have to be patient with that.
Exactly.
Being patient with whoever your spouse is. Constantly people grow, even every day, even if you're at an older age, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, you're learning every day. That I constantly say a person never stops really growing, because you're constantly learning something every day. That's why, the older people tend to be a little bit more wise than younger people, because they got more days and years. Doesn't mean that that's another subject, but don't mean that older people are always right,
Yeah, I'm
but
like,
most of the time, yeah,
not
most
all
of the time,
of them.
not all of
Yeah.
them, definitely not all of them, but a lot of the times, um, they're a little bit more wiser when it comes to things with experience, really, you know.
And I want to get back into what you said about being a mother. It doesn't matter what age you are as you become a mother, because nowadays a lot of women becomes mothers at an older age now.
Yes, yeah.
And also, I just found out that people our age, the millennials, are not having a lot of children right now. Not at a young age right now. It dropped in the U.S.
Oh wow, because before
Mhm.
I think we was having a thing where everybody was having kids pretty young,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, at one point, but now, as of right now, I heard this on the radio. As of right now, though, since the pandemic, people thought during the pandemic everybody was gonna, come out
Yeah.
pregnant after out of the pandemic. But no, that's not the case. It actually dropped the percentage of pregnancies and stuff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Mm.
Yes. So next is what?
Consistent,
Consistency.
being consistent, consistency.
Mhm.
Being consistent, I would say that constantly continuing in that character, you know, even like the Bible tells you, um, being giving, being caring, you know, being modest, being consistent in those. You know, you make mistakes along the way, but try to be consistent and being that person in the household who brings that happiness, joy, you know, not that the man doesn't bring that, but more per se, you know, the man kind of brings that, I guess, like you can say, structure, discipline to the household. In some cases, he's providing, even if it's not financially, he's providing other things in other ways, you know, because nowadays you got the wives, some wives make more than the husbands, but the men still provide in some ways, like, you know, mowing the lawn, you know, things like that.
And
you know?
it's also some stay at home dads.
Yes, it's not rare, but I've heard of that as well. So yeah, just being consistent in who you are and who you're supposed to be and the kind of woman that you should be in front of your children, you know, not bringing around, if you're single, you know, not bringing around all different kind of men around your children. You know, nobody's telling you how to raise your child, but, you know, just common sense, you know, not bringing everybody around your child just for safety reasons and just because you want your children to respect you, not only as their mother, but as a woman, you know. And both of your children, whether male or female, son or daughter, are looking at that in different ways. You know, the daughter's looking at that in a way where, okay, mommy's doing this, I can grow up being with all different kinds of men, you know, and the same with the son. He's looking at, okay, I can be with all different kinds of women. I can treat women this way. You know, I don't have to make a commitment because they see that there's no commitment there. Mommy's not with somebody, the same person. She's always with somebody new. So there's no commitment there. And there's no consistency there. You know, if you're dating multiple people, that's your business. But I would suggest, in my humble opinion, that if you're doing that, at least don't let the kids see that, you know.
Yeah, I agree with the whole not allowing them to see all these men unless it's serious.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I agree with. But you know, some people don't follow that. They think it's okay for the children to meet, you know, the different guys they, dating at the time. But yeah, but another thing I want to add is being consistent is also simply being there for your kids in their life, being consistent in their lives, because there are some mothers who are not in their children's lives, who goes in and out of their lives. And then that can lead to children feeling abandoned. So that's very important.
Not leaving them home.
Yeah.
with grandma.
Yeah,
you
that's not
know,
being consistent. It's
going
not.
to these, where you go out on the weekend, you leave them at home with grandma, or you leave them at home with grandma for 2-3 weeks. They don't hear from you.
Yeah, it's
That's
yeah.
cut that out. Cut that out.
It's
I didn't mean to
okay.
get serious on this episode,
Ooh.
but
Yeah, you are. You're like, cut that out. But that's important. Like, it's okay to go out once in a while, but if it becomes a habit and a consistent thing, that's not really good, because children need their mothers.
Yes.
Mothers also provide, the gentleness. They provide comfort and gentleness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say this: grandma should not be mom.
Oh, wait. Can you say that again?
Grandma should not be mom.
I see that a lot.
And your name should not be Pam.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay. I feel like y'all got quiet on me just listening.
But they felt convicted.
Yeah.
All right. So
the next one is
forgiving. And this is a big one, because like I said, with mothers going, like, juggling different things in their life, wearing different hats.
Yes.
Sometimes they may feel like the husband, they may get jealous of the husband because they're not always with the kids. So that could lead them to resentment on their part. And also, that's just in one scenario. But on the other side, if your kids are misbehaving, you need to forgive them, right? For, giving you a hard time. You can't just be like,
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Forgive them for decisions. Forgive them.
Yeah, exactly.
For mistakes that they make along the way. Still discipline them in your way that you discipline your kids, but also make sure that you forgive them, for what they do.
Exactly.
And so, and like you said, forgiving your husband as well, because that's important that they see that you're forgiving the husband, that there's love there and everything.
And there's no resentment. Like, this is, actually, to be honest, just to keep it 100, though, this is what you sign up for when you have kids. You're not going, like, eventually your time, like, once you have kids, your time is kind of taken away, just where you was just worried about yourself, but now you have a life, human beings you have to take care of. So, if that's something you didn't want, you should never lay with that person. That's a choice, So, but next one is
staying calm.
Oh yeah, that's a big
staying
one right
calm.
There.
My goodness gracious!
I see a lot of mothers when I'm out. I be seeing some cursing at
their kids out.
I'm like,
the curse words. I mean, we know as Christians we shouldn't be doing that anyways.
Oh, say that to Kurt Franklin. No.
Wow.
Wait. I had to put it out there.
Wow.
No, I was just saying. Wow. It was just that one snippet. But I'm just saying, he's a...
Don't sue us if you see us here on Preach the Word Network, Kurt.
What?
Don't. Just,
oh my goodness.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Okay. All right. But we all get to a point where we get angry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I'm a
be angry, but
I'm gonna be transparent here. I have, some problems with anger. I'm working on now, but I need to work on it before I have kids. Because if I don't, if I don't stay calm and work on staying calm, then eventually when I do have kids, I'm probably gonna get angry around them easily, right? So it's important to keep calm at all times. It is hard though, because I be seeing how these kids are nowadays. They will drive you crazy.
Are they like
They're disrespectful?
Are they like that? Are they disrespectful because I don't know if somebody is born disrespectful.
I mean, no, they're not. They're not born. You're a clean slate when you're born.
I think it's how we raise them.
Yeah, that's true. It is how some people raise their kids. They just let them do whatever they want. But going back to being calm, it is
being calm as well. Yeah, there is a balance. There is a balance to it. So you want to discipline them, but on the other hand of that, when they are being out of hand, you got to stay calm with in certain situations. You don't always want to put the rod on them.
That's true.
So you sometimes you have to evaluate the situation. Okay, is this necessary for me to go this extreme with this? You know, can you stay calm? Can you talk to your child and say, hey, this is not good. This is how this should be. This is what you should have done. You know, it doesn't always cost for you to raise your voice and yell and scream and cuss them out and things like that. And then also in things like staying calm as far as somebody so if they do something like, I would say just like TD Jakes with his daughter, I believe she was 16 when she had their child, and she came to them saying that she was pregnant, you know, and he at that time, he still is, but he was, you know, he's TD Jakes, he's Bishop TD Jakes, you know.
So how did he tell his reaction? How did he react?
Yeah, he preaches about it all the time, I believe.
Oh, okay.
He said that him and his wife was just, you know, in tears and everything. But I don't think from what he didn't say anything about them, you know, we don't know their household, but from what I hear him preaching about it, he said that they was upset about it and that, you know, they just went along with it, trying to cover her and everything, you know. So just being calm in those areas, you know, if somebody gets pregnant, somebody gets into a fight, somebody
gets arrested,
somebody gets into a car accident, somebody starts selling drugs, somebody's doing drugs, you know, all those situations. Some of those sometimes doesn't cause for necessarily discipline, but it calls for calmness, you know. Even if you are a Christian and let's say your kids come to you and say they ate this, you have to stay calm.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? For We don't preach the word network, you know, for the people who are Christians listening to us, you know, sometimes you got to stay calm in certain situations.
I mean, it kind of shows like because you're disappointed and you do have expectations for your children.
Yes.
You know, especially when you're Christian or when you have a belief. Religious belief and all, and it's like you want them to live to that, you know. But sometimes not always the case.
You train them like the Bible, so you train them up in the way they should go. They'll always come back.
Exactly. But with the being calm, it also shows that you're able to control your emotions. And I think a lot of people have a hard time with being to handling their emotions, you know, keeping it under control. I mean, I'm working on that as well. Like I'm an emotional person and I'm working on, you know, making sure like I don't get angry easily, you know, and I'm working on that now. So I can honestly say that that's a problem I have and I'm working on. And that as long as you're working on changing it, then that's what you need to do. And as a mother, you need to make sure if you have those problems that you have to change it. That's it. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the next trait is being caring, compassionate.
So being caring and compassionate.
Yeah. So that's a big one too, because with being, I mean, mothers have to care about their children. You know that if you don't care about something, you're not going to take care of it or take care of the person.
I think caring, compassionate, that falls under being nurturing. Yeah.
Oh, nurturing. Yes. Nurturing is a good word to use. And I mean, most of the time you would think all the mothers are like that. Not all the time.
No,
not all the time. No. Not all the time. You do have to, some mothers have to work on that, you know, showing that they care. They may say they care like verbally, but they don't show it.
Yes.
And that's important to show that to your children. And that if the children feel like you care for them, that means they feel that will help them with feeling worthy and feeling important.
To me,
Yeah.
caring, compassion, like I said, falls under being nurturing,
Yeah.
which means that you are somebody, you are a woman
Mm.
that your child can feel comfortable with coming to talking about just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
They can feel sad, they can feel mad, they can be happy, and come to you and know that you know how to deal with their emotions. It's almost like you are a mastermind at
Oh,
knowing how to
oh,
deal with their emotions because they
that's
are
good.
your child.
That's a good. I like how you put that
Yeah.
mastermind.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I think the woman, as the woman of the household, the woman of the household should be able to handle her children's emotions, or
Well,
know how to discern. I shouldn't say handle her
you,
children,
you
but
mean
discern.
discerning?
Yeah, discern what's going on and
Mm.
and know how to, you know,
But the
deal
only
with everything.
the only way a mother can be that way is if they stay calm. Though it's going back to
Yeah, being
them being
calm,
able to
patient.
handle
Mhm,
like their emotions.
mhm.
Because if they're emotional, how can they handle their children's emotions?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
so it's all
Yes.
connected.
So next one is being loving.
Loving.
Same, kind of the same thing as being
Wait, I
nurturing.
was trying to make my heart loving.
So loving, yeah, just being loving, just always showing that you love them. What do you tell
Yeah.
you? I
Just
think
say I love you.
loving, as far as, excuse me, loving as far as you, I think as loving, you should show somebody all of the different ways, love languages.
Oh yes, yes.
Right. So
You have
because
yeah.
everybody has
Mhm.
a different love language.
So
So
what's the
you,
four languages? The physical, it's physical. The gifts, giving
Mhm.
gifts.
verbal,
Verbal and
affirmation,
affirmations. Yes, those are the
you
four.
know.
And love languages is not just for romantic relationships. It could be for
Yeah.
friendships.
So when
and
you get
all that.
into a romantic relationship, you have
Mhm.
to learn which one of those is your partner's love language. But as
Yeah.
far as with your children, a mother should be showing all of those.
Oh yeah,
Should they?
that's
She
right.
should present all of those, and that way the child can say, "Okay, this one is the one I pick right here.
Mhm.
I relate to this one right here." You see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they know
So they know,
the
okay, this is
yeah.
the one that I
That you
really
so then
connect
when they
with.
become an adult, they
Yeah.
know exactly what their love language is.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
can
that
be
makes
able to
sense.
tell
Mhm.
the other love languages, even if they don't connect with it, they still know it because mommy taught me,
Yeah.
mommy showed me those love languages. So that way, when you
Mhm.
get into a relationship with somebody who is not your, love language,
Yeah.
you still know the love language. So the next
Oh,
one
that's
is,
interesting.
yeah,
Interesting point.
being
Yeah,
friendly.
friendly. So being friendly. I mean, as a mother, I mean, I, excuse me. I believe you have to be nice to your kids. You need to show that you like them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not going to go so well if you show you don't like your
Mhm.
kids.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes maybe times where you're not going to like each other and
Mm.
what your mother or your children do or
Mhm.
child does, and just being friendly, being nice, and just showing that it's connected more so to being caring and friendly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think friendly. I
Mhm.
think you should show what an example of a friend.
Mhm.
Have good friends around you, good examples of friends.
Yeah.
Also, tell when they are babies, tell your child, no, you share this toy with that person. You put them around different babies and stuff
Mhm.
like that, children, so they know what friendship is and they know what, you tell them to share. You don't, be like, oh no, my child deserves everything. And then,
Yeah.
no, tell your child to share, tell your child to be giving,
Oh yeah, you're saying the mother can show them how to be friendly to
Yes.
children. Yeah, that's a
So
good one.
next one is knowledgeable.
Mhm.
So just being knowledgeable about
Wisdom, being wise.
being wise, which
Yeah.
you get that as you go along.
Mhm.
Yeah, with life.
And that's important too because that whatever you learn from your life, you can teach that to your children, and then that can help them, when they get older as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one is being brave.
Brave. So being brave this can connect to being a mother. Like, you have to be brave. I think being brave as a mother means like you being brave having children. Some women are afraid to give birth. So the fact that you go through having a child is bravery to me. That's what I believe. That's a good trait to have. And also taking risk as well is what make being a good mother.
I agree with that. Being brave. Yes. I don't got
you have nothing to say that.
Add to that. Well, I never heard. I don't know if I ever thought about like bravery. Like,
no, but that's actually if a woman's brave or the mother's brave, that's actually taking a risk.
Yeah. Okay. Like taking risks.
Yeah, and like
brave. Like you know what could be brave?
You have nothing
brave
to say
like her going up to the school for student teacher conferences by herself.
So,
or
maybe going to a board meeting.
She has to go. Oh, the barbershop. If she has a son and let's say she has no man, she's a single.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
She's a single mother, and she has to stay in the barbershop with her son while her son cuts her hair.
I know. I've been to a barbershop with my mom before. I have a brother, and they be talking about. Sometimes the men be talking about women. Like,
yeah, depending on what barbershop. Sometimes the owner of the barbershop will tell everybody to kind of watch their mouths around.
That's brave. Being a mother going there. That's in that environment. That's brave. Being brave, man.
Yeah. So and last one that we have is selflessness.
Selfless. Being selfless. So basically, that's the opposite of being selfish.
Kind of like what we talked about before. Not being selfish. Not leaving them at home with grandma and everything like that. That's being selfish. You're spending more money on yourself than you would for your child. Yep. Some people might say, "Oh, well, can I do stuff for me?" But that's not what you chose when you had that child. That's now your responsibility. You now have to put this person kind of in front of you. Not saying that you can't.
Not the whole. Not your marriage, though.
No, not your marriage. But as far as like buying materialistic things, some people, you hear somebody say, "Oh, I haven't bought myself something new in a long time." That kind of comes with the territory.
Exactly. That's why
I chose that.
That's why I said before, you knew what you would sign up when you had kids.
Exactly.
When you laid with somebody.
I don't understand when I hear mothers say that. Well, you chose that. You chose that's part of it. It is. And hopefully, when your children get older, they will honor you and buy you things. Exactly. That's how it should work.
So those are our traits that makes a good mother.
Those are traits.
And if you want on YouTube, make sure on YouTube and our Instagram you leave comments about what makes a good mother to you. What you think a good mother is.
Yes. So this has been another episode of
CJ Honesty.
Peace and blessings.
Just being honest, nothing but the truth.